Well, hello, my beautiful Pisces. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for May 2024. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I will never ask for personal details, and I'll also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Pisces, this is your monthly reading for May. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. May is actually a very powerful month. There are many intense shifts occurring, and you may have been feeling exhausted, burnt out, and fed up recently, but Mars now reappears 15 degrees apart from Saturn, and that occurs on the 4th of May. And this really is a big deal as our collective motivation returns. Vibrations raise higher spiritually. You'll be embracing that inner warrior to overcome any challenges and find solutions to any problems that you have been experiencing recently. So basically, expect to feel more energized, motivated, and tenacious to move forward on long-term goals. Saturn is a very serious planet that can be a bit of a hard taskmaster, pushing us to work hard, maintain momentum, and remain true to our path without distraction. And this in turn can create minor tension with others as we all jostle with an intense change of energy. But ultimately, Mars encourages you to be passionate about all your endeavors, to embrace self-expression and creativity, as well as feel enthusiastic to learn new things. Oops, I'll just get that one over here as well. I'm loving this. You have the Wheel of Fortune for the month of May. So the latter part of May is actually going to be very lucky for you, shall we say. I will mention in a moment why that is, especially because Jupiter is making itself known. But this month, because of course we've moved into Taurus season, you'll pay more attention to health, body, mind, and soul. Mars actually reignites your lust for life to find new, exciting ways to revamp your life and bring back that spark that may have been missing for the last couple of months as Mars has been hidden. And of course, Jupiter, as I was going to mention, is the most auspicious planet of prosperity. It shines its beautiful energy upon us all. And of course, some will get a little bit more good luck than others. And looking at the cards for you, that's you, my beautiful Pisceans. You're going to tap into that. It finally delivers better times ahead. And as we've officially moved into Taurus season, we should expect amplified opportunities and success in areas that you've been focusing all of your energy on, as well as discovering new ideas on how to increase wealth, repay debt, and create solid foundations for stability. More invitations should start to flow in this month as well. And with Jupiter showing up in the sign of Gemini, you'll feel a little bit more sociable to get out there. Oh, they want me to go again. Isn't this interesting? Look at your cards. You've got the 10 of Swords, the 9 of Wands, and the 10 of Wands. You're really fed up with something. Something needs to change. It's almost like it's got critical. You're changing it for the better. I definitely see things are working in your favor, but it signals and heralds a new beginning. So this is a big month for you indeed. We will clarify these cards to see what's going on there because that is such an intense energy for the month of May. Knight of Swords, big lifestyle changes, a major overhaul for you in particular. And I feel like you're in command of this, whatever this is. But something is done. You're done with it and you're not going back on it either. But we will tap into that in a moment. Now, this is also, as I said, a little bit more of a social month, so you could potentially meet new people to add to your soul tribe. The new moon on the 8th of May is actually all about reconnecting with nature, falling back in love with your life, attracting good luck, and deepening your connection with the law of attraction. And the full moon in Sagittarius on the 23rd of May will affect all signs, injecting more opportunities for adventure, to take charge and make bold decisions while seeing the bigger picture of your life to remain on track, but also to attract more fun and and spontaneity along the way. Also, it is worth noting that Jupiter will conjunct the Sun on the 18th of May. And after that, Jupiter will not grant many more wishes until later on in the year, specifically towards the end of June. So I would say get your manifestations and wishes in before the 18th. But looking at the fact that you've got the Wheel of Fortune there, I would say that you're being given like a little bit of extra boost this month. So I feel it could work really well in your favor. Because whatever turnaround you are challenging yourself with, because I feel there's a major lifestyle change here, I feel it's going to be really positive for you, and it's just going to set you on a new course where you just feel rejuvenated and almost like breathing a breath of fresh air into your life in some way. Okay, well, May, it is going to be a month of potential and lucky breaks. There will be chaotic surroundings, of course, and I feel like you will push on through that. You are a warrior with the 10 of Wands there. I feel like some of you have been doing a little bit too much, and you're trying to get back in the flow of things, but on a global scale, let's say the reappearance of Mars, it can actually escalate conflicts that are already in motion, and power plays can actually increase tension further. And the disappearance of Jupiter can actually see a public figure in power disappear from the spotlight completely, or shirk responsibilities or accountability when the public need them the most to step up and lead. Also, you may see a lot more people in positions of power step down or be nudged out of the way in some form, to make space for someone new there as well, because this is a big month of change. Also, we are going to see a few more strange and crazy weather events. They will continue, unfortunately. Hurricane season may even start early this year, disrupting the natural flow of weather systems. Mars's gravitational energy can actually affect the Earth, especially in terms of volcanic activity. And as we are in Taurus season, and Taurus is an earth element, we could see more earthquake activity even in areas where they are not typical. And I did mention this also in my last monthly, I uploaded it a couple of days before there was that earthquake in New York. I'm not saying it's going to happen again in that area, but we're going to see a little bit more of that, strange weather phenomena in areas that are not typically prone to it. And also, I have to mention that Mars and Saturn partners up, and it actually affects water. So there may even be like a large-scale flooding event, especially in or near the Ring of Fire. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I would hope I'm wrong on all of those things, but it's something that has been coming to me, so I have to mention it when it is persistent in the energy there. But Mercury is no longer in retrograde, and that really is good news for the collective. So expect to feel a little bit more, concise, direct, and, electronic equipment. It will kind of be a little bit better this month, but there are going to be some solar flares that are going to be quite intense. So I would say it's prudent to kind of like save down any important documents, financial statements, as there may be some gremlins in the system, or, some sort of, apps and things not working, power outages, all of that. Also, many more exposés will continue this month, as I mentioned in my yearly reading. Pluto will expose all. It continues to take things that are hidden from the collective and bring it to light. It may feel uncomfortable at first or a bit of a shock, but Pluto reveals to create tension in order to purge and then deliver great karmic paybacks. Ultimately, though, on a personal level for you, it's a month of rediscovering your passion, your energy, your focus, and checking in with your strategy and being really productive, edging closer to achieving your goals. And your first card there is the Death card, all change. But this card, it can signal that it's a new month, of course, and you are looking forward to what it holds. But I definitely see that you're promising yourself something's got to change. And I'm doing this reading on the 2nd of May. I do apologize, it's a little bit delayed, but I did have a hospital appointment there, and it just set things back a little bit. So, I had to take some time out there briefly, but here I am. So it's obviously meant to reach you at this time. But the Death card is transformation. Now, this can be that you're looking at your life and looking at some of the old habits that you have, right? We've all got them. So I feel some of you are really having an about turn trying to declutter your life, body, mind, and soul. Some of you, it may be that you're doing a bit of DIY or decluttering around the home space, fresh new start. For some of you, it could be that you're having like an overhaul in your career. You're deciding to either approach things in a different way, really have a lot of inspiration, spark new ideas and set up new practices, or even, employ new computer software, for example, out with the old, in with the new. Or it could be that you're leaving a job in order to move into something much more fortuitous and much more exciting there as well. I mean, you've got the card of the storms, right? So it feels like a major overhaul, but also storms, they clear the air. So I feel some of you have been under a lot of pressure recently. And what happens when you have pressure, especially in a weather system, it becomes, so large to a point where something's got to give. And I feel, you can channel this energy into allowing stress to overrule you, or you can use that excess pent up energy in order to channel it to healthy pursuits. So I definitely see that, you're using it for the latter. I feel like you're changing your life. Things have got to a point where you're like, enough is enough. So, I mean, some of you, it could be that you're moving to a new neighborhood, or it could be that you are ending a cycle repeat, or you're just looking at maybe taking away some of the things that have been like making you feel unwell. Or, and what I mean by that is, if you're intolerant to a certain food substance and, it tastes nice and you're like, a little bit of what I fancy is nice, but if it's getting critical and you're like, it's really affecting me now, I've got to stop. I feel there's this big kind of energy for you where you are ending something that you feel you've had enough with. For some of you, it could be a toxic environment that you're like, you're done. You've taken so much of someone's BS and you're like, no, I'm not doing it anymore. So this is a complete change in your life in some way, and something big is ending. When you start with this card as your major arcana card in your protagonist energy, you're in control of the change. Now, some of you beautiful Pisces out there, you may have noticed that, of course, some strange things are going on in the world right now, major restructures. If you're in a career environment and you just lost your job, for example, or were made redundant, or walked away from something that either you fell out of love with or you felt was toxic, I feel some of you are just restructuring your life, putting your resume out there, really checking in with yourself to see what you really want to do. And I feel there's going to be a bit of a lucky break here where suddenly a new opportunity arises for you. It feels very much in the middle of May for you in particular. But I feel it's almost like a breath of fresh air. It's almost like letting the pressure off, that suddenly you've got the right opportunity. It's actually more in alignment with your goals or where your heart truly belongs. And I just feel the universe is stepping in to help you to be on the right track. And for most of you beautiful Pisceans, I see that actually you're on the right track and you're going to get a little bit of extra luck here. But transformation, there's a fresh new start. So some of you may have been feeling a little bit in limbo recently, or you may have felt that life has been a bit stale or stagnant. Don't get me wrong, I see you've been super busy. 10 of Swords, 10 of Wands, you've been on the go. You've been pushed and pulled in many different directions. You've had a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, but that death card there is covered by the 10 of Swords. So this could also be a graceful ending of something. It doesn't always have to be a painful ending. It can be like, you're clearing space for a new start. Some of you could be getting closure on previous experiences. If, for example, you've been going through a separation, you've been going through a period of healing, and now you are, creating space for new energy, new people to enter your life, to open your heart to a new relationship, because you have the Lover's card there as well. So I feel like it's more that you are having some major overhaul this month in order to clear space for something better. And that Wheel of Fortune tells me that something better is coming along. But I feel there is some sort of good luck or good news that comes in the month of May that changes everything. And it may even make you completely shift your life in a different direction. So for some of you, it could be that you have been looking for a property that you've been searching for a long time, and suddenly you find the property of your dreams and you go for it, and it changes everything. And it's like, all change. So that Ten of Swords there, it can also be an epiphany. It doesn't have to be, a cutting out of something. It can be a sudden realization that, something's got to change in your life. So if you feel that, you've been working really hard or you've been focusing on your projects and you haven't been clearing space for fun, spontaneity, or, to really open yourself up to other things. Sometimes we can launch ourselves into one thing and then suddenly, whilst we're enjoying it at first, suddenly it becomes a routine or a repetitive cycle. And then we're like, okay, I feel a bit stuck in this schedule that I've created for myself. It's time to shift or change. Now, your third house of communication is actually influencing you at the beginning of the month, and that's all about finding your voice, to speak loud and proud. And that's even speaking to the universe and saying, enough. Enough. I've had enough of bad luck or chaotic situations. I'm done with this. I'm now welcoming in better things, better opportunities, better people, better scenarios. So I feel like you're really communicating not only to those around you, but also to the universe through the law of attraction, because your third house is really you connecting to the law of attraction, and thoughts become things. So you may feel something needs to end right now, and the universe is listening. So this is a major manifestation month for you there as well. Now, for some of you, this could be that, you have to step into someone else's shoes to help out, or, take a presentation if they're off sick, for example. For some of you, it could be that, you hear a neighbor is leaving and you're wondering, who's going to move in next door? And are they going to be as nice as the neighbor, or are they going to be as awful as the last neighbor? So I feel like some of you are just noticing a lot of change around you. And change is good. Sometimes change we have to recognize, there is only one constant in this world, and it is change. Seasons change, we change, experiences and circumstances change all the time, and we must remain flexible. And you do have that card, the Lover's card, which is the choice card. It is a card of duality. So that's really about, you checking in with yourself, being flexible, being adaptable to change, but also asking yourself, do I like it? So if you see that perhaps your neighborhood is changing and you're like, not sure if I like these changes, you may be actually deciding to look further afield and see where you truly belong. For others, it could be if you're in a career, there's some restructures or merges going on, and if you're like, yay, this is great, there's a partnership going on that I really enjoy here, I'm going to stay. I'm actually going to go for a promotion or raise. This could be the end of the role as you know it, and you're moving into something that's more exciting, more fast-paced, that allows you to utilize your skill set and increase your finances. But if you're not happy with the merges, or you feel that there is change afoot and you're not about it, I definitely see that you are being in control of removing yourself from situations that your heart does not desire. And we've got the Magician card, okay? So the Magician card is, of course, a card that indicates that you're going to be super focused this month. You are going to be very creative. You're turning your visions into reality. So I feel like some of you, it could be that, you're not wasting time. You're actually just getting on your goals, your tasks, and you're just moving at a different pace this month. I really feel here that you are cutting through the stuff that tends to try and derail you or waste your time, and you're just being on point. You're very goal-oriented this month, and you're making things happen. This card is number 43. When you reduce it, 4 plus 3, of course, is 7, which is the Chariot card number. So this means that you're going to dedicate yourself or commit yourself to making some major changes, and you're sticking to them. You're being disciplined, and you're going to be successful. You're someone who is very, very strong. Okay, you've had a lot of difficult experiences, maybe recently or in the past, and it's made you who you are. So if you feel like you're going through difficult times, I want you to realize that whilst no one likes difficult times, I feel like you've got this. I feel like you've been through stuff before that has made you strong enough to move through these times where there is significant change. You're in a very secure position because you're being adaptable. But also that Death card tells me that you're almost like receiving your wings. You may have been in a period where things have been dormant, stagnant. You've been almost becoming who you've always meant to be. And now this is a very powerful month to open new doors, because 2 10s, they signify the beginning of something else, something new, something more exciting. And, this card really is also an indication that there is magic to be found everywhere. And if you've found that you've been going through a very difficult time, it can make us feel jaded, like nothing ever works, or you feel helpless to change your circumstances, and it just feels like a lot. But there is a significant change happening for you in the month of May, and I feel it's going to highlight that, you are the magic. You're bringing the magic. The magic is actually within you, especially with your thoughts. So some of you could be deciding that you are going to notice the inner critic when, that inner critic arises and we start to get really negative about our circumstances. We all do it. We all get a little bit grouchy sometimes, especially when you're giving your all. You're bringing 2 tens to the table, which means you pour everything you've got into every situation that you find yourself in. And you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed that there's just so much on your plate right now, and you're looking for respite, or you're looking for a sign or an omen to help with your circumstances. Well, May is the month where you're going to receive that as well there. Now, this is a card that indicates also that you're having faith and believing in yourself, or you're believing in these changes, whatever these changes are for you. Okay, I mean, we've got the 9 of Wands there as well. So it indicates that, some of you have, been finding it hard to find love, for example. And, I feel you could actually start talking to someone suddenly in the month of May. And there's something, it's really awful to say this, but I have to say it. It feels like this conversation may randomly start about the weather, okay? Now, you are a water element, you like a deep conversation, and this person that you're meeting, they actually also want a very deep conversation, but they feel that if they went deep straight away, that they would be too intense for you, because they've been taught in their journey that being so deep, people start to go, ooh, that's a little bit, of a deep conversation. And, they are a little bit cautious about going that deep. First of all, they don't actually want surface conversation, but they throw it open with something about the weather. There is a conversation here about the weather. So random. And if you are looking for love, don't dismiss this person, because I feel there's a lot of depth to them, but they're just worried about scaring off new people with the depth of conversation. But as soon as you get to know this person, you're going to love the depth that they go to in terms of conversation. I mean, you've got the 10 of Swords there, so I really feel you're striking up new conversation with someone. It just feels like the beginning of something that is way different than anything you've ever experienced. So if you are looking for love, this is actually a great month for you to find love. If you're already in a relationship, I feel some of you may decide to adopt a pet this month, or, I just get a sense here as well that some of you may have been going through some critical conversations. There may have been a lot of pressure on you and your partner to really bring your A game to life, but also to each other. And you may have been almost like ships passing in the night. There just feels like something was just a little bit off kilter, but there's going to be a really honest, open conversation that clears the air and shows that both of you are still on the same page. You both love each other dearly, but both of you have been under a lot of pressure recently, and sometimes, and I don't like to say this, but sometimes you do take it out on your nearest and dearest, because you're just venting, and you don't want them to fix you or fix the situation. You just want to be seen and be heard. And I feel so does your partner, and there's going to be a conversation about that. But I feel like you reestablish the spark between you both. And some of you may even think about moving, or, going overseas. I feel I don't really have the overseas card here, but I'm being drawn to the Wheel of Fortune. There's a map there. So some of you may be actually trying to feel where you belong in the world. This could be like a holiday home that you're thinking about purchasing, if you're lucky enough, of course. To have that finances. For some of you, it could be that you're retiring and you're actually deciding to go overseas, because there's so many 10s here. Some of you could be ending a cycle of your life. It could be that you're actually moving into retirement age, and it's going to be really exciting for you. It may feel like it's a bit of a headache to get everything organized, but it's going to work in your favor, and it's going to change your life in a positive way. For some of you, it could be that you are, just ending a certain age gap. It could be that you're moving from your teens into your 20s, It could be that you're moving into your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. You know what I mean? You could be having a milestone kind of moment where you're like, wow, I'm in my 40s. I'm in my 50s now. What's next? Or, how am I changing? How am I evolving? How am I evolving? How am I maturing? And do I like the same things I used to like? Or am I just moving away from that and paying more attention to other things in my life? So this card, I feel like the magic is in your hands, and I feel this is a card that indicates a lot of power, a lot of energy, and when you get this card, it indicates that it feels very much like something that you've been thinking about suddenly turns up for you in the month of May, and it feels like magic. But actually, I feel it's, the universe highlighting that you're connected to the law of attraction and that you did this. Okay, so this change is good, whatever it is. But I feel, this is more you aligning yourself with your heart's desire. Now, for some of you, not all of you, but some of you, you may have been going through a separation, of course, because this card is in the resistance position at first, but it will go into the upright there. And if you've been going through a separation or a divorce, this may be finalized in the month of May, or it's something that perhaps is ongoing and you're hoping for it to be finalized soon. Once it is, it really clears the air. It takes the pressure off. I feel it's a new lease of life. Even if you really didn't want this to happen, I feel like you're going through a process of release. And I feel, if you're wondering whether you will ever fall in love again, for now, you may think, oh, I'll never get married again, or I'll never be in a relationship again. I feel, the universe has other plans for you, and I feel like you will meet someone new who is a soulmate who, almost like helps you rediscover love again, okay? So I feel, of course, there is a healing process that needs to be adhered to, but in good time, you will meet someone new. So I want you to be aware of that. Now, for some of you, if you are going through a separation with that Nine of Wands, some of you are, looking at the barrier that we all erect around our heart to protect our heart and keep it safe. I feel when you meet someone new, you won't need that barrier. I definitely see that there is someone honest, open, loyal, and loving coming your way. So I want you to be aware of that. But the Lover's card, when it goes into the upright, but I do see some of you, there's this energy of you separating from something that you once thought you loved, or once thought was good for you, or once thought that was for you. And now that you're maturing, I feel like you're distancing yourself from this in order to connect to things that you love more. So this Lover's card, of course, at grassroots, it means choice. So this is about you looking at your options. It's about you going with your heart desires. It's about you really checking in with your heart. I mean, cautiously, you're doing that, but the Nine of Wands in the resistance position, it can indicate that some of you are having faith, or you will have your faith restored in the month of May, because I feel there is an about turn in your life where there's a lot more positive things available to you. Now, of course, as you can see there's some musical notes. So this is really about tuning in, and your third house can really influence you with this card in terms of you getting to know your neighbors better, or, if you have siblings, connecting to them. Some of you may embark on a course of study, or you have a chance to travel, especially since you have the Knight of Swords there. So some of you could be really tying up loose ends in order to get everything in order before you travel. So I would definitely say with the Nine of Wands there, if you have a pet and you are traveling with your pet, there may be some document or extra document you may need in order to travel with a pet. That's coming through really randomly. For some of you, it could be that, it could be that you need to check with the pet travel service about something. It could be that... Yeah, I just feel like there's something extra that needs to be filled in before you travel, and perhaps you haven't done that, or they haven't given that to you. If you're a seasoned traveler with your pet, this could be that I feel like having a question about the arrival time is, I don't really understand this. I've never traveled with a pet, so I'm just getting an energy about arrival time. So I always was under the impression that if you travel with your pets, say for example you're going on an airplane, I always thought that they were in the cargo in the airplane itself. Some airplanes, of course, they allow you to bring your pet in the seat next to you, right? I've seen it on reels, but I'm not really sure what I'm being given here. It's something about arrival time, so maybe there's going to be a slight delay in that. So I'm just going to move away from the energy. There's nothing to worry about. I don't see anything untoward here, but it could be that because we do have cleansing storms, maybe it's something to do with animals traveling in storms. They may be a little bit nervous or worried, and they may delay the flight or something. I don't know. Please take it as it resonates. It's just popping out there, so it's not going to resonate with everyone, that's for sure. But I thought I'd mention it there. Now, the Lover's card at Grassroots is manifestation. It's really about what your heart is vibing at and what you're attracting at this time. And some of you, you may be launching new businesses, because this is a card of duality. So some of you may be becoming your own boss or launching something that you've been yearning to do for quite some time, something that perhaps you've been delaying or putting off. May really is a power-packed month of change for you. And with that Nine of Wands, this is a card that indicates that, you are getting closure on old wounds, because this is a card of the wounded warrior and it's in the resistance position. So it's almost like this closure or this resolution somehow sets you free and opens new doors, emotional avenues for you as well. And it just feels that things are taking a turn for the better. Now, also the Nine of Wands there, it can indicate that some of you have really been under pressure. I do feel something that I don't really like to mention, but I have to mention it because it's coming through. Some of you may be taken unawares by a bill. Okay, I mean, again, because we have the companionship card, it may be a veterinary bill there for some of you. I'm going to pull a quick card on that Nine of Wands. I feel like you've got this. I feel like you're super organized. You're going to be okay with it, but it's just something that's a little bit frustrating there. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide? Ooh, okay. So we have the Seven of Swords and we have the Wheel of Fortune. So for some of you, with the Seven of Swords, it could be that perhaps you're overcharged by accident and you have to return and say, hey, because, the Nine of Wands is questioning is good, right? So it could be like, oh, could I have an itemized bill there? What was it that went down that you've charged me for? So if you're not someone who normally does that, I would definitely, question a bill that you feel is a little bit too high, because I actually feel with the Wheel of Fortune, it gets returned to you. So I feel there could be some paperwork or documents that you need to fill in, forms, the drill, but I feel like you'll get it back. So it's almost like it's a surprise, because Wheel of Fortune is surprise, but the Seven of Swords there is like, okay, you may need to return to find out actually they took a little bit too much and they return it, okay? So that's coming out there as well. Now, Seven of Swords can also indicate some of you have a real quest for independence and you're not adhering to anyone's expectations of you. So I feel like you're really turning things around. There is this energy here of some of you maybe like moving out of a place that you feel like has run its course, or you've come to an end of something, or you've hit a glass ceiling in some area of your life and you're like, okay, you're getting closure on that and you're moving on and you have this new vitality, this independence there. Now, we've also got companionship animals, of course, and this really at Grassroots is about you tapping into your instincts. Some of you may have even noticed red flags in your life in the past and ignored them because you're such a beautiful, sensitive soul that you always want to give someone the benefit of the doubt, but you may have learnt that we can't always do that, or we can't keep giving someone or a situation the benefit of the doubt, because sometimes people just don't change in the time frame that we're hoping for. Sometimes people do change, of course, but they have to change for themselves, because if they try to change for another person, they always tend to fall back into their own pattern or their own chaotic cycle. So I feel like you've learnt about that. So it's about erecting healthier boundaries, really tapping into your instincts. And some of you, this card, it really indicates that, you have a superpower and you have been searching for it. I feel some of you have an untapped gift or hidden potential in some area of your life, and you're bringing it to the fore in the month of May. Some of you, it could be like an artistic gift. It could be something that you're really passionate about, but you've put it on the back burner. This is about rediscovering it. This is about taking time out to share your gifts. So some of you, you could be launching something that benefits other people. And the law of the universe is that there has to be reciprocity. So there could be like financial reward there to create security in your world in order to have a fair exchange, because of course the Lover's card is about reciprocity. It's about fair exchanges in life. Now your 10th house of ambition actually influences you at the end of the month there, and that's all about having the energy, the drive, the motivation to get projects finished and your tasks done. So if you are in business, you'll elevate and make a mark in your part of the world to really establish your reputation as being successful, someone who's full of great ideas, and being a real game changer. Looking at your cards, you are a bit of a maverick. You're bringing an end to certain practices in order to, bring in new systems, for example. You really are going to show that you're destined for the top. And on a general level, if you're not in a career, this is about being more organized. It's about being on target with your projects, being focused, decluttering the home space, or just getting organized in your life. And some of you may even adopt a pet this month if you don't have one, or perhaps it's something that you have been thinking about. And I'm sending a huge hug out there to some of my beautiful Pisceans who may have lost a pet recently. This pet, their energy is still very much with you. And okay, I'm just being shown, and I know this could be typical of pretty much every pet, so I do apologize. I can't control the images that I see, but I'm seeing this little furry ball type thing. I'm just seeing it. It's not doing anything. It's not moving. I'm just seeing it, this little furry ball. Maybe your pet had a favorite furry ball. I'm not really sure, but I'm just seeing it. It's very colorful. Okay, and it's almost like a little reminder, I don't know what I'm being given. I'm just seeing this image, so I feel this pet's energy is around you, and there's so much love and thanks and gratitude that they shared their life with you, so that's coming through there as well. So I'm sending so much love and so much hugs out there. I feel actually really emotional about this, so I'm just going to ground myself there. But I'm sending you so much love out there, because this little one was really grateful that they got called into your life. That's what's coming out there. So with respect, I'm going to move away from that energy there as well. Now, what's really interesting about this card, it's number 21, which is the World card. So another card of an ending or learning a lesson and moving on from it, getting closure and entering into a new cycle. So I feel fresh new hope, new pathways, new doors opening. And this card, it actually is about you exploring a part of you, your animalistic instincts, your wildness. You may have felt that the world has been a crazy place the last couple of years, and you'd be right. We're all still wondering what's going on and what happened. But I feel this is about you trying to embrace your wild again. And now this could be about you rediscovering a part of yourself that you feel like you've lost touch with. It just feels like you've got to a certain point in your life where you're like, I need to change. I need to change in a good way that you're controlling, where you're like, I just want to be that person again, or I want to reconnect to this part that I love about myself. And I feel you are embracing that inner wild. Also, you have a real affinity with animals. So some of you may actually go into working with animals, whether it's, being on safari or on a reserve, or whether it's in a zoo, of course, or whether you're working in an animal sanctuary. I feel, there's this affinity with animals where people, don't connect to animals as much as you do, because you have such a deep empathy, and you're going to notice that a lot. So you're going to see, they're showing me insects right now. You're going to see a lot of insects coming your way, like ladybugs is what I'm seeing here, and grasshoppers. Now, grasshoppers tend to mean positivity, opportunity, good luck, and, springboarding yourself into something new. And of course, ladybugs represent good luck and abundance there as well. So these may be symbols or signs that you're going to see over the next coming weeks. I mean, there could have been any animal there on that card that I would be given for you. I don't even think there's a grasshopper or a ladybug on that card. No, I can't see one. Oh, maybe there. Maybe that's potentially a ladybug, I'm not sure, but that's what I'm seeing in the water. So look out for that in the month of May, because maybe in real time you'll see a real one, which would be really fantastic, or it may be a logo or a picture or a reel about one. This symbolizes good luck coming your way, okay? Now, the Wheel of Fortune indicates that life, of course, it's all about ups and downs, and you're learning to ride that wave of life. And I feel, you're accepting the end of something, or you're changing something that has ended, and you're turning it around, and it's working in your favor. So I feel good luck, abundance, good fortune is showing up for you. You're going to move into a fortuitous cycle where there is auspicious energy for you. Jupiter really is working well for you, so expect a wish being delivered there as well. But when you get this card, when it comes to finances, some of you are aware that money is easy come, easy go. So some of you may change a budget, or you may change how you pay bills, for example, in order to have more money. Because I feel there's an energy here of being stricter with yourself, with your finances. And with that storm energy, it's almost like you're protecting yourself. Some of you may be feeling intuitively that there are some changes afoot, a storm approaching. And I feel like you are almost like battening down the hatches. You're closing ranks and making sure that you protect everything that you've worked hard for, and saving a little bit more. It's almost like saving for a rainy day, but I don't see that you're going to need it for that rainy day, if that makes sense. Also, with the map, some of you with the Knight of Swords are taking a vacation. It's going to be a wonderful time. There may be some weird weather, okay, on some of the dates, but ultimately you're going to have an incredible time. And, basically time is what you make it. We can look to all the factors outside ourselves, whether it's raining, whether it's, delayed. We make the circumstances ourselves. Time is what we make it. We can, decide to enjoy the moment, find the simplicity in the moment, in the everyday, but also with the people that we surround ourselves. It's all about us and what is within ourselves, because happiness comes from within and it filters out to our outside circumstances. So, some of you may literally be leaving the country to be more nomadic in your working environment, because there's something big here changing for you. To have so many tens, I feel it has been exhausting. And some of you also have been working hard to implement certain practices in your life so that you can make the change. So you may not be there yet. You may feel that, you're working hard towards ending something, and it's been a lot. I'm sending you a huge hug out there. This card, it tends to ask, have you been doing too much? Because sometimes in life, we accept less than we truly deserve and desire, and we take on more than we should. We, laden ourselves down with so much responsibilities and burdens, shall we say, and I feel it's more about prioritizing so that you're not exhausted all the time and you have a little bit more time for you. 10 of Wands is really burning space or clearing the excess away from your life to allow new things to come in. This is clearing the way for a beginning. So I'm actually really excited for you, whatever this big change is for you here. It could be, an emotional change where you're getting closure, but whatever release it is, it will take you to the next level and it will serve as a greater whole. And I feel here with that 10 of Wands, along with the Knight of Swords, I feel like you're just prioritizing being more organized this month, and you may have a lot on your to-do list. And I feel, towards the end of the month, it's going to be very fast-paced. The beginning of the month feels a little bit more like taking stock, really reflecting, but the end of the month is actually going to be a faster paced energy, and probably because your 10th house is taking over there. So I really feel like you may have a lot on your to-do list, but you are setting goals and you are accomplishing goals. This is a goal-getter, goal-setter energy, and I feel with this card, this is also about you having swift reactions or responses, shutting things down that are negative for you straight away, really tapping into your intuition and your instinctual energy to move quickly through the month, some of you broadening your perspective, but also I feel like you're responding differently to challenging situations. Sometimes we can look at change, or we can look at situations that we're not happy with, and we can feel really overwhelmed. I know I certainly sometimes can be like, oh my gosh, this is too much. I can't deal with this. And then suddenly you just remove yourself and start to think, okay, can I change something about this circumstance? If the answer is yes, then set those changes in motion. And that's what I see you doing here. If you cannot, then step away, because it is what it is, and what will be, and what is meant for you will never pass you by. So there is a relief of pressure there in that knowingness. So I feel here that you're totally on top of things. I feel this card indicates you're bold, you're daring, and you're eager to, move through the month. And, like a warrior, I feel like you're going to accomplish a lot. And I would say here as well, you're not going too fast paced. You're not going to miss anything. Although I am seeing someone with shoelaces untied. Okay, so it can indicate, make sure you get everything in order, because you don't want to be tripped up, because you need to be organized. There's going to be a lot going on this month. I mean, it could literally mean that you're listening to this reading and you look down and your shoelaces are untied. So please take it as it resonates. Whenever I see shoelaces untied, it can mean that, you're going somewhere, so prepare. So, you're going towards success, so get prepared, get everything in order, make sure there's nothing there that could trip you up. So I really feel like you're on a trajectory that's quite exciting. And when we're about to make a major change or have a major change in our life, sometimes it's darkest before the dawn. So you may have been going through a lot of pressure, but now that pressure is going to be relieved, okay? Because the storm, I feel like it's passing. This card, it says cleansing. So this is about purifying. And this could literally mean that you're cutting something out of your diet that you feel has been, draining your energy or making you feel bloated. Some of you are going through a cleansing month where you're actually deciding to purify your body, mind, and soul. But it could also be about circumstances, people, situations where you're just protecting your inner sanctuary so that you can just have a clear mind and move through the month knowing with clarity what it is you want and remain on track. Now, it's number 23. When you reduce it, of course, is 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. And that tends to be a number of challenge. So this means with the storm coming or brewing or being overhead, it means that the challenge is now about to dissipate, because everything that's been playing out, it's led to this moment, and now suddenly it's here, it clears the air. There's a cleansing here, okay? So when you get this, it's like there's a lot of energy built up. So what this card, it literally means, especially with all of the cards that you've got, it's like sometimes you require a lot of energy to blow away or change what you no longer need. It's hard to not fall into, a cycle of repeat, or it's hard to break an old habit. It's hard to let go of a relationship that you didn't want to let go of. It's hard to move to a new neighborhood when you feel comfortable where you're at, but things have changed and you're maturing. For example, if you are a couple and you're having a child, for example, it's going to change your life. And although you love where you live, you may think, you know what, I need to create space for my new child who's coming into the world to have their own room or a little garden or whatever it is. We constantly evolve and change. And this is about you, building up the energy in order to make that change right now. And I feel some of you, as I said, will be cleansing your body, but this is really about you letting go of what you feel you no longer need and being really specific in your release. And I feel this is about clearing the air, letting off steam, channeling the pent up energy into reshaping your world and opening new doors. So it's really exciting. And I feel it's electric, literally, all those electrical lightning bolts there. It signifies change on the crown chakra area, where it's like that this change may have been brewing for some time, but now that the time has come, it's actually a relief. And it just feels things get better from here, okay? So let's get some final cards. I'm sending you a huge hug out there, because whatever change this is, it's pretty big. And, I feel this is going to be quite exciting indeed. Oh, they want me to go one more, so I will. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide? Okay. So we have the mask. Removing your mask. It says, remove the mask and learn to live the way you are. Live original, what's hidden, hiding, the true self. And, when you get this card, it's really about living your authentic truth. You have a lot of tens here, which is like, this is it. You're like new start, new me, new everything. It just feels like you're tapping into a part of yourself that you feel you've been becoming for quite some time. And I feel it's not that you are hiding a part of yourself or you've been lying about yourself. I feel like you have been your true authentic self, but I feel now outside pressures or people's expectations, it's like, no, I'm not living to other people's expectations. You're living authentically in your own truth. Now we also have life on the edge, okay? So if you felt that life has got a little bit dull or stagnant, this month it is change. You are maybe opening yourself up to being more sociable, or groups of people, perhaps hobbies, getting out there, having fun, or connecting to maybe a group study. You know, I feel like you're doing something new, maybe even accepting new invitations to places that you haven't been before, or even if back in the day you'd get an invitation and think, oh, you know what, I don't really want to go there. Maybe now it just feels like you're different and you want to get out there, have fun. I just feel some of you may even go to like festivals or places in the world where you've never been before. I just feel it's just different this month. And it says here, is the life that you're living worth the price that you've been paying to live it? Wild life, adventurous lifestyle, unstable. So, I feel here there's this energy of you tapping into your instinctive energy, rediscovering your wild, for example. And for some of you, it could be that you're deciding to put your wild days behind you and get really serious about stuff. So please take it as it resonates. But what I'm getting here is that some of you may have felt that you've been under a lot of pressure. You've been, working really hard towards your projects and your goals, and you just want to blow off steam. You just want to have some fun, some spontaneity. And I feel like you're really asking yourself, is this it? Is this what I have built for myself? Is this what society has built for me? And you may be just changing an approach to that and deciding to either launch a new way of living, launch a new business, launch a different lifestyle, whatever it is. I definitely see changes afoot. Now, we also have love there as well. And it says, true love will find you and it will awaken your soul. Romance, loving what you do, and soulmate. So, to some degree, of course, it's about love, being with a soulmate, or even enjoying your own company and just loving what you do. For some of you, it's really about you and the law of attraction and connecting to your heart and making sure that you love every aspect of your life, falling back in love with it, because that's what Mars energy does. It restructures and it brings major change. And sometimes change is uncomfortable, but on the other side of that, it feels really good and really light. And of course, your 10th house is bringing out that card, climbing up the ladder. So a lot of success here. You're climbing the ladder of success one step at a time. Promotion, more success, improvements, and raise. So, in terms of finances, looking at your cards, the Knight of Swords, you're putting like major, finance kind of budget in play. I feel like you're being very savvy with your finances. I feel like, you're making sure that your health is important, and of course, money is important too, but I feel more this is about the trajectory that you're on. So I feel you are attracting more wealth and more good luck into your life, but I feel like you worked really hard for it as well. So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or rune before we close. Okay, so we have the scales. Okay, so this is about living a life of balance, of variety, weighing up your options right now. And, sometimes it can also be about that weighing up your heart. Is the life that you have chosen to lead, is it worth it? Are you happy with it? And if it is, because I feel actually, at the core of you, it is you following your heart and being, flexible with the changes and making sure that, you're still on track, which I feel, although you're making some major change, I still feel that you're aligned with your heart and with your overall goals. And I feel like May is a big month for change for you. We can see that. We've also got maple leaf there. So for some of you, it could be if you're living in Canada, for example, or some of you may be moving away from Canada or even moving to Canada. Maybe the maple leaf is like you just turning over a new leaf in some area of your life. And I feel it's going to be very rewarding indeed because it's a golden leaf. So I feel it's a golden opportunity to turn over a new leaf in your life in some way. And finally, we have this rune. I love this rune. This is the property rune. Well, it's basically the home rune, so it's all about where you feel like you belong. But some of you may go into real estate. But this is also about you looking at your heritage as well this month. So some of you may be looking at cycles or patterns that have played out in your family lineage for some time. Some of you may have been given the difficult task to end a cycle repeat that has been negative in your family tree. And you're setting yourself apart in order to change it for the better. And with this rune also, this is an indication of, you know, a mountain to climb. I feel like you're at the top of your mountain and you're viewing your life from a bird's eye view right now. And you should feel really proud of the changes that you're making, because I feel it's put you right on track. I mean, some of you may actually purchase a home. I think I mentioned that already. Some of you may even basically move into a new neighborhood, but this is about security. It's about you finding stability in your world and making some major changes in order to be in a secure position. And it's almost like you're preempting some difficult times ahead. Even though it looks like things have been a little bit difficult for you recently, you're preempting more to come. But with that Wheel of Fortune and the Knight of Swords and the storms, I feel like the storm is passing for you and things are going to get a little bit better, okay? So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates in that reading for you, my beautiful Pisceans. If it does, please like or subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. And of course, this reading is quite precise, very complex this month, so it may not resonate with everyone. So I do hope it does connect with someone out there. Thank you so much, and love and light.